want to keep this very, very brief and say one of the things that I truly appreciate about the collaboration that you're going to hear about today is the opportunity to learn and think about how ideas generate and how science, design, art, and function all can come together. And the process itself seems absolutely fascinating. So I'm looking forward to hearing from all of the collaborators and many, many more collaborations between our colleges, science and engineering, education and human services to come. So I'm going to turn the mic over to Dr. Jensen, Chair of the Chemistry and Biochemistry Departments at CMU.
Thank you, Dean Lancaster. It's my pleasure to introduce Bingbing Li to you. Bingbing received her BS degree from Beijing Normal University and then a PhD degree in 2007 from Virginia Tech. And she did postdoctoral research at Massachusetts Amherst and the Indiana University Center for Regenerative Biology and Medicine. In 2009, she started at CMU, where she is now a full professor, graduate coordinator, and our associate department chair. I'll add that Bingbing is just a wonderful colleague, and we're excited to hear what you have to present today.
Thank you, Anton, for your introduction. I would also like to thank Dean Ford and Dean Lancaster, Department Chair Tanya Domina, and Anton Jensen for their constant support to our project. Also, thank you, Rebecca and Allison, for coordinating this event. Thank you for joining us. So I will first give a brief introduction about our STEAM by Design team, our students, participants, and some past exhibitions. After that, I will have other faculty members discuss more details about their specific project. So first of all, why STEAM by Design? So STEAM by Design. So in the past, you can see most of the STEM projects are organized and hosted in laboratory or classroom settings. And so those activities are actually restricted by the physical location. So those locations can offer such activities, right? So the idea of STEAM by Design is to utilize publicly accessible space, such as museums, galleries, public libraries, etc., and the faculty on campus with different expertise. So when we work together along with student participants, we can design very meaningful STEM-inspired displays. So those displays can travel. They can travel to different places. They can travel to different states, even internationally. So those well-designed exhibitions can therefore enhance the STEM culture, the STEAM culture, and the career awareness among public. And beyond that, those displays are going to be in the museum, gallery, public libraries. So they are in the publicly accessible space. So that will help to promote STEAM equity. And for those students who participate in our project, they have opportunity to incorporate eco-design and circular design thinking into their experiential learning project. And the design idea, as well as the product students made, we create an interface between the university and the community. So our activity can also strengthen the university community partnership. So overall, the goal of our team is to promote broadening participation in STEAM and ultimately to contribute sustainable development. So our team has 4 faculty members. I work for the College of Science and Engineering, and Sue, Julie, and Pim, they all work for the College of Education and Human Services. So this is a truly cross-disciplinary collaboration team. On this slide, we highlight some student participants. So our project were mainly implemented through classroom, even though we do have undergraduate and graduate researchers. So there are lots of students participate in our project. We were not able to put all of their picture on this slide. Plus, after they create their displays, their exhibition items, we select some of them and bring some of those selected ones for the exhibition. So on this slide, those students' product, their designs were really displayed in the past exhibitions. Many of them already graduate. They already become our CMU alumni. So such as Jasmine Bach. Jasmine Bach graduated last year. She is now an interior designer for Whitman near Detroit area. Leslie Weibel worked with Professor Su Kong An. She graduated last year. She is currently a PhD candidate at Iowa State University. She is also one of University Innovation Fellows. So the fellowship program is very prestigious and is managed by Stanford University Institute of Design. We call it D School. So next one, Kellen Moffett. Kellen also graduated. Kellen worked for Sidework Studio as a junior designer, very talented designer. Kellen worked with us for so many projects. Kellen's advisor is Julie Zuo. So those are some examples. But if you look at this slide, all of the students taking the following class, Interior Design 434, FMD 345, FMD 437, all of those students had opportunity to be exposed to science concept, and they use those science concept to inspire their design. And as I said earlier, we only selected some product for the exhibition, but we're really happy to have all of those students to work with us. And in the classroom, instructor also bring in circular design concept, and the students have the opportunity to incorporate those concepts in their experiential learning experience. So CMU STEAM by Design team was officially established in 2020, and we received our initial funding support from CMU Office of Research and Sponsored Program. And between 2021 and 2023, we have offered 4 STEAM by Design exhibition to public, scheduled one more in Traverse City area in 2025. So throughout the year, we implement the project into different classroom. We bring in new students, bring in new idea, create new displays. So the exhibition collection also keep growing. We have also organized one STEAM equity symposium, and this was done by collaboration with American Chemical Society Midland section. Collectively, our faculty have offered 6 workshops to K-12 students in Mount Pleasant area, Tri-City area, and virtually Middle Tennessee area. And all those workshops were done by collaborating with community partners. So Professor Julie Zuo and Jasmine has also presented their work at 2022 Forum Student Innovation Competition. Soon in the next month, Professor Su and Pim Kongpai, they will present their tensillation and axolotl regeneration inspired design in International Textile Apparel Association Conference. It's another competition, design competition. So let me talk a little more about the past exhibition. So past exhibition are really highlight remarkable regeneration capacity of axolotl. So axolotl is a type of aquatic salamander. Axolotl can regenerate their missing body parts throughout their adult life. So very amazing research model for regenerative biology study. So we have a lot of optical microscope image we collected originally for scientific research. So those microscope image are very beautiful and very storytelling. So those microscope image were supplied to designer, which are our faculty and students at CMU, and those microscope image were used to inspire textile design, garment design, furniture, and even virtual STEAM environment design. So I'll show you some of image as example. So those are hematoxylin and irisin stent microscope slice. And you can see at 3-day post-amputation, so this is for axolotl limb regeneration. So after 3-day post-amputation, we can see the wound epidermis start to form at the injured site. And at 7-day post-amputation, the apical epidermis start to thicken. So this is the apical epidermis, and it gave eventually form an apical epicellular cap. So the apical epicellular cap is very important for axolotl limb regeneration. Even at 7-day, we can see early blastema cell accumulated here. Blastema cells are pluripotent. So they basically formed from the differentiated blastema cell, the fibroblast cells, and eventually they will accumulate to form a big mass of blastema, and those blastema cells will eventually redifferentiate again to form different type of cells, bone cells, muscle cell, and finally we will have a new digit form. That's amazing process. So eventually those digits will form and grow until they reach exactly same size as the other side of the limb. And those are very storytelling image, and we share those image along many other image with our students, and students will incorporate those story into their design. And this is our very first exhibition, which took place at CMU Baber Room. I'll play just quickly a little bit of the video. This is our first one, and later we start bring the atom to different place nearby. So the second one is at Veterans Memorial Library, and then we move to Art Ridge of Central Mid-Michigan. And in this summer, we had our exhibition at Milan Center for Art. And in the next, in 2025, we will have our exhibition at the Denos Museum Center in Traverse City, and we keep adding new atoms. So then I'm going to pass the mic to my collaborator, Julie Zuo. Julie is professor in the Department of Fashion, Interior Design, and Merchandising. And her research interests include computer-aided interior design, interactive virtual reality, indoor environmental quality study, visual attention study, lighting design, and furniture design. Thank you, Julie. I'm going to pass this to you.
Thank you, Bingming. Can you see my screen? All right. Okay, let me over here. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Julie Zuo, and I'm a faculty member in the interior design program at the CMU. Since 2021, more than 40 interior design students and I have worked with Bingming on this project. It has been an exciting experience, learning process. We engaged in several hands-on projects, all centered around the theme of axolotl regeneration. Today, I'm just going to share a few examples selected from many student work. They span from upholstery, textile design, to furniture design, and to the creation of entire interior environments. To begin, as Bingming said, my students and I learned a range of scientific knowledge that are not typical for interior design majors. This includes the axolotl habitat, its regeneration process, microscopic technologies, and mathematical concepts. We placed a strong emphasis that is on two fundamental principles: circular thinking and then material sustainability. During the design process, we were challenged to apply the theoretical knowledge to the actual problem solving. So we put through and finally made this happen. So here, let's start with a look of a furniture design example. And you can see that we started with Bingbing's pattern, which is the tessellated macroscopic images of amputated axolotl limbs. Tessellation is a math concept. When applied in two-dimensional design, it means to cover a surface with one or more geometric shapes. There should be no overlaps, no gaps. Then we apply this concept three-dimensionally in furniture design. My student Jasmine, who is here today, she used the equilateral triangle as the main form and designed this tessellation stool set. There are two modules in a pair. Their legs have a locking mechanism on any side of the triangle. And then we can use individual stools or connect multiple stools to adapt to different spaces. It also allows us to replace or refurbish an individual stool. In the design process, students used several tools, both hand or digital, from creating 2D design drawings, sketches, to 3D models. And 3D printing prototype is a very important step that we verify the design details. The circular thinking around reuse, recycle, and repurpose is also achieved through the use of sustainable materials. For this modular seating, for example, one idea is to use high-density polyethylene plastic, which is made from recycled materials and 100% recyclable. So this idea is illustrated in the rendering on the very left. Another solution is to use solid wood, which is highly sustainable and renewable. For visual appeal and customization, this set was built in solid wood and coated with 3 finishes using 0 VOC paint. VOC refers to volatile organic paint, which is toxic. Next two examples are interactive virtual spaces for STEM exhibition and education. Notice the vibrant colors, playful forms, unique textile and logo designs. All these interior elements were inspired by axolotl regeneration and derived from the macroscopic images and Bingbing's tessellated patterns. We also implemented a concept that is called gamification, or using gaming elements and strategies in design. Now I'm going to launch a platform that is online. Let's see here. See right here. Are you able to see the screen? All right.
Yes.
Perfect. So in here, first click. Now we'll enter this game. You can orbit to pan around, or click on hotspot just to tour space. You can click on any hotspot. For instance, click here. It shows you the tessellation of macroscopic images of axolotl. And let's now try a different spot. Here on the TV, if you click, it launches a website, introduces axolotl in the wild or in the lab. And of course, we can use the menu to go to a different room. Here, click. This plays a PowerPoint that teaches regeneration of amputated axolotl limb. So through all these examples here, there are many of these treasures just hidden or waiting in these games. From YouTube videos to student work, you just need to click and do the treasure hunt to find out all of this. During our exhibition at Midland Center for the Arts this summer, we saw many kids enjoyed playing these games, and such online platform allowed us to reach to a much broader audience. And now I'm going to close this, return to PowerPoint, and now, are you able still to see the screen? And now, okay, this second example, you can explore this yourself. Just grab your smartphone and point your camera, turn on the camera, point towards the QR code on the top right corner. I believe you will click an allow button 3 times to load this panorama on your phone. After it's loaded, you can use your finger to slide it, and then you can see the different areas within this virtual STEM center. It's worth noting that our interior design students apply both hand and digital technologies daily in classrooms, at their internships, and after graduation at their jobs. Design firms and clients appreciate their skill sets, and they welcome our tech-savvy graduates. So all these examples showcased our system thinking on the education of sustainable development, which is through the interplay of physical travel exhibitions and interactive virtual environments. Our design philosophy and strategies can be applied to other STEM topics and different disciplines. For example, we have an ongoing project that proposes a STEM learning experience within hotel design. So in addition to apply circular design principles in the design process, in each of these designs, the themed hotel suite features a STEM learning nook, and there are other custom design elements teaches sustainability to the guests. This is an innovative approach and a fresh concept that we try to introduce to the tourism industry. Now, I'd like to introduce my colleague, Dr. Su Kong An, a full professor of fashion design. Her expertise includes a broad range of areas, such as functional and smart clothing for military and personnel and police officers, sustainable and renewable fibers, computer-aided design, and 3D prototyping, as well as creative and sustainable design.
Sue, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for introducing me, Julie. Hi, everyone. I'm Su Kyung-an, and I'm glad to share fashion outcome with you today. In my portion of the presentation, I would like to show 3 fashion design outcomes that I and my graduate student and undergraduate student were creative, for this from this CMU STEAM collaboration project. The first outcome that I present is a fashion item, as you can see in this slide. My graduate student, Emily Do, and I got a lot of tessellation and microscope image from Dr. Lee about 2 years ago, and we studied ourselves first, what that means is, what that image is, because we are not the, we thought like we are the creative person, so we are not that familiar with the scientific, the image. So we study ourselves first with Dr. Lee's help, and we're thinking about the best way to explore this specific image in the public. So we decide to make everyday life product. So from those, scientific image, we selected several interesting part of the, the image and then modify them in a couple of different ways by using Adobe Illustrator and then Photoshop software. And with those modified images, we developed the repeated textile motif. And then those repeated textile motifs were printed in several different textiles, such as silk and cotton, by using digital printing technology. So to apply this textile to everyday product, we designed and made tote bag, face mask, pencil case, scarf, laptop case, and cell phone pouch. All these accessories were exhibited in a couple of different places in the last 2 years. Next, outcome that I want to share with you is one is all is one. A beautiful dress that I made with my graduate student, Leslie Weibo. And the wearable art piece was inspired by axolotl ability to regenerate the lost part on its own without any treatment. To emphasize this regenerative ability of axolotl, we decided to use the modular design and made it, as you can see on the top slide of the top slide right here. Then approximately 250 pieces of modular design were cut by using laser cutter and connected without the sewing technique to create the top. So this top can be connected differently as needed to create a different silhouette, because we can move the modular design quickly and easily. To make the skirt part of the dress, one Jabara pattern was designed, and this Jabara pattern was repeated to create the whole dress part. So the 10 pairs of Jabara pattern were combined and attached to the waistline of the dress. Through this design process, especially modular and then Jabara design, we explore and implemented the method of creating newly created multiple design from one pattern while emphasizing axolotl regenerative ability. This experience helped my students create a more advanced and diverse piece of the wearable art using modular design. And we submit this design to 2023 International Textile Apparel Association Design Competition. Luckily, we got the acceptance, so it will be exhibited at, in Baltimore this coming November 10th. Last project I would like to share with you is textile wall art. As you can see in this slide, I created the sustainable chemistry periodic table last semester. The total size of this textile wall art is 144 inch in width and 56 inch in height. At the beginning of the project, I created and printed the sustainable chemistry periodic table on medium weight cotton canvas fabric with 8-inch by 8-inch size element. And I also used the digital textile printer for this wall art. And I brought all printed elements to my student in 2 different undergraduate design courses, FMD 345 and FMD 437. All students in these 2 classes picked 4 to 5 elements from the periodic table. Then they planned to modify the element with a surface design technique by using 100% recycling materials such as leftover fabric, button, trims, beads, and so on. So they really thought about the way that they could apply the sustainable surface design in each element. Some students used gathering technique and made the flower applicate and attach them to the element. Some students apply the top technique to create the various texture. Some students embroider the beads on top of the element to highlight them. Some students laid several different type of the fabric to create the three-dimensional surface onto the element. So after that, I collected all the elements from the student and created this beautiful textile wall art piece. This wall art piece were exhibited at the Midland Art Center in the last summer. And through this collaboration project, fashion design students were able to break away from the typical design process and learn about how to creative art from the traditional principles such as science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Additionally, based on this experience, I think the student will use more diverse source in their future creative activity. So now I'm going to introduce my colleague, Dr. Pimpawang Kumpai. Dr. Pimpawang Kumpai is she's an assistant professor in the Department of Fashion, Interior Design, and Merchandising. Her research interesting area are functional clothing, sensory in textile and apparel design technology, including computer aid design and 3D virtual fitting.
Thank you, Sue. Hi, everyone. My name is Pim, and I was honored to join this project last year. My first exposure was I went to see the exhibition that everyone did at the library and got very inspired. So later I was asked to join the project. And then after Dr. Lee, I have to have help with Dr. Lee explaining all of the scientific behind the story of her images. So after that, I was very inspired from the reformation of the limbs of the axolotl. And being from the tropical, I've seen the little lizard that we have usually running around on the ceiling and everywhere. One day they will come with a full tail, and then the next day I will see their tail got cut off or fall apart or something. And then after watching them every day, you can see their tails growing and things like that. So my concept design is behind the regeneration of the limbs. So I want to create something that has a little different design and have some playfulness elements on there. So I work with my graduate student, Jiajun Liang, who already graduated last year from our master's program. And one thing that I wanted to have it in mind with this design is to be able to share my design process with the students in FMD 347 class, which is digital pattern and virtual fit class, where they use 100% software to create the patterns and also fit it on an avatar. So this project is perfect to share with them. So I shared with them at the beginning of this semester, and hopefully they can think of how to incorporate all the technologies, different softwares that the program has, and do something a little different than just the dress that we've seen for every semester that we teach them. So to approach this, we look at all the images that Dr. Lee provided us, and then we chose 3 different images to create the design. The first one you can see on the bodysuit. We didn't do anything with the image. We used original image. What we did is we vary some opacity at the waist area, so the rib cage and the skeleton can pop out from there. So we use that, and then we digital printed on the fabric and create the bodysuit. For the sleeve and also the skeleton, and you can see the tail peeking out on the right-handed here a little bit, just to give some gimmick to the clothes. This one, all of these three elements can be lengthened or shortened, going with the modular concept that Dr. An's design has. So we wanted to create some collection that can have some concept that's the same, but different design for that. So with this, you can see the first pictures here on the left. We use the skeleton drafting from the images that we got from Dr. Lee. So we draft the outline of that image out, and then we form it, turn it, and then create it rib cage kind of motif design. The second image that we use is the blastema cells and then the black cloth, and we use that to create the brush design, and then that brush design is used on the sleeve, as you can see that. So with these, all of these design and prototyping, we use 100% digital technologies, which use like 5 different software, such as like Clo 3D, Illustrator, Adobe Illustrator, and Photoshop. And then to create the 3D textures, we use ZBrush, Rhino, and also Blender. And those are the software that our program offer. So it's a good example to show the student how they can apply everything that we teach to a design. So through this, we were able to save time and use the efficiency of the software by designing the pattern and also designing the textile, that we were able to use that to place it on each pattern pieces. Then once we have that, we got it digital printed and also using laser cut that we have in the building. So we shortened the time of creating a prototype. Usually we have to create like several prototypes to see the fit of the garments and also how everything will be pieced together. From this, after we create the pattern, we virtually stitching onto an avatar so we can see the actual fit of it, and also the placement of each of the textile design. So we were able to see the complete look before we can get it print out and started to the production. So with this, I kind of encourage the student to do something a little different, that so they can utilize everything that they've learned so far into the project. So we'll see what they come up with like at the end of the semester for their projects. Thank you.
You are muted, I think.
So in the next few slides, I covered few projects that are either ongoing or at the planning stage. Because the time limitation, I will only highlight a couple of them. So the first project that I would like to highlight is the interactive and immersive virtual environment-based platform for repurposing wind turbine blade. So this project is built upon the current collaboration in the team. And the goal of this project is to preserve the expensive composite material in the decommissioned turbine blade and explore their application in sustainable mobile architectures. So the wind turbine blade, as you can see everyday life, their average rotor diameter already reach almost 100 meters. So they are very long, and actually they are very durable. So the major component of the wind turbine blade is polymer composite materials. So the polymer composite material are reinforced with either glass fiber or carbon fibers. So the reinforcing was done through the interfacial coating. So they were designed to last a long time. And also the price, the blades are actually the highest cost component of a turbine. So they are durable, they can last longer. Those are good. But the problem is recycling those wind turbine blade after they retire is very challenging. But because they are durable, they are expensive. In this project, we would like to preserve those composite material by repurposing them. And through the virtual design and the learning platform, students are going to explore their application in sustainable mobile architecture. We have a white paper already. Anyone interested in, we can share with you after this meeting. Another project I like to highlight, I'll skip a couple of them. The slides will be shared with you after the presentation. Another project I like to just quickly touch base is the integration of sustainable design thinking and the entrepreneur mindset into STEM education. So this one is to expand our current team to collaborate with Isabella Bank Institute for Entrepreneurship and the CMU Center for Excellence in STEM Education. So the goal of this project is to develop an interdisciplinary training program partnering CMU's STEAM by Design team and the New Venture Computation program. So the New Venture Challenge program is managed by Isabella Bank Institute for Entrepreneurship. It's an institute organized by, managed by School of Business. We also hope to establish a campus-wide student-centered entrepreneur community that's focused on STEAM and sustainability education. So we have also in that the director of CMU Center for Excellence in STEM Education, Julie Cunningham, to discuss a little more about CMU's effort on STEM education in the past year. She probably will only give a brief introduction today, and we can have some other activities scheduled in the future. So I'll pass my mic to Julie.
Thank you, Bing Bing. As Dr. Lee mentioned, I am the director of the Center for Excellence in STEM Education at CMU, and I have a slide that talks about the audiences that the center serves, and I want to just give a little bit more information about each of the audiences and how we provide services for them. So perhaps you can hear students in the background today because I'm in my office and there is a field trip in the makerspace. So we do provide field trips for classrooms to come to the makerspace, as well as after school programming and some Saturday programming for families. And that's generally open for students in K through 8, sometimes in the high school ages as well. And also we offer quite a few summer camps, and I often collaborate with faculty for those summer camp services. So these programs allow our pre-service STEM education scholars who are studying to be teachers to work with children in the makerspace right away, starting their freshman year. And then the center also offers professional learning to in-service teachers, and we often collaborate with community partners in providing a wide range of experiences for the teachers and pre-service and in-service teachers. And then finally, the center is able to offer support to faculty work in STEM education, and this allows faculty to share their research across broader community audiences. And so that's one way in which we will partner with Dr. Lee and her team again in the future. And that really allows faculty some additional opportunities to make their work accessible to different communities. And so then the final slide that I have here provides you an opportunity to check out some more information about us or to see some additional information about our program. So thank you for having me today.
Thank you, Julie. So that's the presentation from our end, and welcome any questions. We still have time here, and this picture is the real size of the sustainable periodical table, and and we can see some kids, they are playing activities. Those activities were provided by Julie during a STEM festival. They were playing activity in front of sustainable chemistry periodical table. Yeah. Hi, Allison.
Yes,
Yeah.
I have one question. How long, this is just for me, how long does one of these projects take typically from start to finish? I think you said it's been a few years, and you anticipate projects such as this being taking up about that amount of time as well?
Sue, Julie, would you like to answer first, or you can go ahead?
Well, if I'm thinking about this just sustainable chemistry table, I spent the whole semester, last semester, spring 2023, and then we make this one. But I think that our collaboration start from, I think, 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So some of the fashion item that I made, that's, like almost 2 semester. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it depends on the project. The virtual learning environment project that lasts definitely longer than a year, because original design by the student, we Julie and I, we have multiple meetings to improve the original design, add new elements, and then we also have students graduate, and then another student join the project, you see. So it really depends on the nature of the specific project and the items. Yeah.
Thank you.
So the interior design students did the project in 2 semesters in IND 434. And as Bingbing mentioned, there are 3 students that worked with me outside the classroom, on this, especially the virtual environment took a little longer. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We do have another question. This is from Megan. She says, I'm interested in the exhibition aspect of your work. I'm wondering if you've worked with museum studies students at Central to design or to share with them the interactive technology you've used in your displays.
That's a good point. So far we haven't worked with the museum study students directly. So we work with the students mainly in the fashion and the interior design. We implement the project as an experiential learning opportunity for the student. So student designs a product, and we select and we evaluate their product. So the students usually have a chance to reflect what they are doing. So for the museum study, we will be happy to expand our project looking forward. And when we talk about the exhibition, it's more like the first step is they finish their experiential learning, and the faculty decide like what items are to be selected. And then I brought those information, those design to museum curator directly. So museum curator decide whether, oh, this is good, we are able to have your exhibition. So I think the question you mentioned is great one. We may be able to expand our collaboration with museum study even. We do have museum study major at CMU, which is wonderful. Yeah.
Add on to that, Callan Moffat, who's already graduated, he did quite several of the virtual environment and interactivity, and he worked on campus for CMU Museum for, I think, 4 years. So definitely that in the design process, we have the mindset regarding how this can be used in not only travel exhibition, fixed or virtual. So those are, I think, is a really valuable students that are interdisciplinary that join our research team. Yeah.
We have one comment. Thank you to all of the presenters. Such a cool collaboration. All the designs are fascinating.
Thank you. We hope this is just a beginning of cross-disciplinary on-campus collaboration. Look forward to more interesting and innovative collaboration.
Do we have any additional questions? Feel free to unmute yourself, at this point, since the presentation is over, or raise hands or in the chat.
Yeah, after the event, Alison will also share the PPT slides with all of you. And if you are interested in any project or have any question, feel free to reach out to us directly.
Well, I will go ahead and say thank you to all of our presenters. Such an interesting event to be part of. We do look forward to more cross-collaborative work. And again, like Dr. Lee said, we will make sure that we send everything to all the participants, including the recording. So I will go ahead and say goodbye for the day. Thank you for attending, and we will see you next time.